If this earth could talk, the soil gathered from battlefields at the far corners of the earth to be interred here in the Hall of Service at the Anzac Memorial echo the practices of veterans of the Great War who created the Hall of Memory in 1934. The stones they set into the floor of the original building were brought to Australia from foreign battlefields after the war. On the 25th of April 1990, I stood on the beach behind Ari Burnu, north of Anzac Cove, with an old family friend, Jack McCleary, DCM. It was Jack's 103rd birthday. In the darkness before dawn on his 28th birthday, he had led C Company of the 11th Battalion ashore at that spot. 75 years after the extraordinary day that seared its way into Australian history and earned him his Distinguished Conduct Medal, we met on that location. He gave me these pebbles at the place where he landed. They have been on my mantelpiece ever since. This rich earth hints at stories told and untold. Let's take a couple of examples from the 100 in the floor. We have soil from the southeastern approaches to Tobruk. When I look at the pink desert sand, I can hear the legendary scout for the 2nd 11th Battalion, Corporal Frank Atkins, relating how he led Lieutenant Katie Johnson's platoon from the battalion into the town in January 1941. As they approached the Italian positions, they were treading in the footsteps of generations of warriors over thousands of years, from Greek hoplites to Roman legionaries to Senussi warriors. Wars may ebb and flow, armies come and go, but the sand and the stones are permanent and eternal. This soil has been witness to history. Possibly the most remarkable of the soil samples is a portion of the seabed from beside the forecastle of the Australian cruiser HMAS Sydney. Missing with her company of 645 men for 67 years, the discovery solved one of our nation's great maritime mysteries. Over 270 of those aboard had enlisted in the port of Sydney, so it is important for us here at the Anzac Memorial in Hyde Park, Sydney, to remember their loss. The wreck lies 2,650 metres down on the floor of the Indian Ocean. We will never know of the final hours of these men's lives, but the archaeology gives us hints. Recovered images from the wreck show the sighting ports on X turret open. With the bridge officers dead, other guns out of action and the ship afire, the survivors stayed at their posts, mortally wounded their enemy and died fighting. Our small piece of the seabed is part of their resting place. Launching the book In That Rich Earth on this day, 26 September, is a special anniversary for the men of the New South Wales raised 14th Brigade and their families and descendants. On this day, 103 years ago, they attacked the German defences deep in the shell-shattered forest called Polygon Wood in Belgium. At the eastern end of the wood, the Germans used a rise called the Butts as an observation post. It was protected by machine gun positions and concrete blockhouses. The attack was led by 26-year-old battalion commander Alan Scott. 10 years earlier, he had been a student across the road at Sydney Grammar School and a state schoolboy high jump champion. By 1917, he was an experienced veteran of Gallipoli and the Somme with the ribbon of a Distinguished Service Order on his chest. Advancing behind a creeping barrage, the attack was brief but bloody. The objective was reached. The Australians took the position and held it, but Scott was killed by a sniper 4 days later. He lies in a grave beneath the Butts, just a few hundred metres from the spot where, in 2017, a group of students from New South Wales, led by a veteran and then Governor, now our Governor-General, collected the soil that is in the floor of the Hall of Service. The soil will keep its secrets, but remains a reminder of events beyond our shores that once reached the hearts and homes back here in Australia. Each small sample reminds us of the request made by those who built this place, that we let silent contemplation be our offering.